My name is Nandini and welcome to my INDS final project. With so much negativity and hate towards different cultures in today's society, youths feel insecure with themselves and their cultures. There's an increasing pressure to become Americanized while youths still grapple with finding their sense of identity and belonging. How do we then empower young adults in today's society? Let's look at the word empower. For Merriam-Webster, empower means to promote the self-actualization or influence of. So then when we ask how to empower young adults, we are asking how to promote their development of self-identity. For those who hope to keep their cultures intact while exploring this process, we must provide young adults with a medium to comprehend and participate in a way that is culturally relevant and promotes cultural pride. What medium might this be, would be the logical next question. This answer is not quite clear-cut. Various solutions such as classes on leadership and empowerment or participating in cultural celebrations do not integrate empowerment and culture significantly. Thus, we must view this as an interdisciplinary issue that must be solved using an interdisciplinary approach. What is interdisciplinary studies then? Webco defines interdisciplinary studies as a process of answering a question, solving a problem, or addressing a topic that is too broad or complex to be dealt with adequately by a single discipline, and draws on the disciplines with the goal of integrating their insights to construct a more comprehensive understanding. Now let's look at different disciplines that could be used to solve this complex issue. When looking at one's relationship with culture, we must examine both the internal states of mind of behavior that are related to culture, as well as the social attitudes related to culture. We also must look at how culture can be utilized to empower young adults. We will look at psychological concepts of cultural learning. We will also look at sociology, as it is the study of human social relationships and institutions, as cited from UNC Chapel Hill, and the concepts of cultural conformity and social belonging. Additionally, we will examine how art plays a role in empowering young adults. Specifically, we will look at Indian classical dance as pictured. And lastly, we will examine kinesthetics, one sense of their body, and how that can be utilized to solve a complex issue. Together, these topics can be utilized to address the issue of empowerment while giving culture significance. First, we will start with psychology. As Lehman stated in his review, culture represents an inescapably fundamental element in individuals' physical and social environments, and so, through the mechanisms of cultural learning, has enduring consequences on individuals' thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Thoughts, feelings, and behaviors can be considered basic psychological processes. Thus, psychology has an intimate relationship with culture. Social belonging refers to the state in which an individual, by assuming a role, is characterized by inclusion in the social collectivity, an already established social bond that is manifest in the interactions among the individual members of a group. Cultural conformity involves the sharing by individuals of value systems, focus of reference towards which a certain degree of positive orientation is shown. The latter part of both definitions shows how social belonging and cultural conformity are different concepts. Social belonging to a community does not exclude the possibility of disagreements in the community. In terms of art, and specifically dance seeks to help participants reconnect our mind, body, spirits, gain confidence, and increase self-esteem. For this project, I would like to look more specifically at Kuchipudi, an Indian classical dance form that originated in southern India hundreds of years ago. Here is an example of a Kuchipudi dance piece.
sa ga sa ga dim ga dim ta sa sa ga ga pa pa ni ni ga ga pa pa ni ni sa sa pa pa ni ni sa sa ga ga ni ni sa sa ga ga pa pa ga sa ni sa ga dim ta ga dim ta sa sa ga ga pa pa ni ni ga ga pa pa ni ni sa sa pa pa ni ni sa sa ga ga ni ni sa sa ga ga pa pa ga sa sa ni ni sa sa ga dim ta pa ma ga ri sa
ta ki ta
takadhimmi
ta ki ta
takadhimmi
kitta
takadhimmi takadhimmi
ta ki ta
takadhimmi
kita
takadhimmi 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 sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa
sa sa sa ri sa da 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 sa da ni ma 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 da ma da sa ri ga ma da ri sa sa ni sa ri ga ma pa da ma ma pa 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 da ni da ga ni da ga da ni da ga ni da ga ni da ga ni da ga ni da ga
So this piece looked at the concept of community that dance brings about in a community of dancers. Now here's another video that describes dance.
I think dance can communicate what words cannot, because a body is so much more expressive than words sometimes. If you think music is the language of the soul, then dance is a visual expression of that. I feel it's very personal, very intimate. At the same time, it's a very powerful way to communicate and connect. There's a whole completely different energy that comes from dancing with other dancers. You're connecting with the dance, you're connecting through the dance, you're connecting to the emotions that come out from you while you're dancing. And that whole synergy is amazing and it's addictive. And I think that's why we dance.
So as seen and described in the videos, dance is an extremely expressive art form that integrates various movements and gestures to convey a message. It also is a medium for dancers to portray their own feelings and motivations. This can be applied to empowering young adults. Now to look at kinesthetics, kinesthetics is one sense of their body in space, but it also includes the various ways in which the moving body constitutes and shapes our conscious experience of the world. This is how social or cultural scaffolding and artistic practice evolve and unfold, and how they might impress themselves on the human body. This idea can be applied to show how one may express empowerment using their bodies, as well as how those body movements can shape one's experiences of the world. These disciplines can be integrated to address our issue, but some conflicts may arise from disciplinary differences. One such conflict could be the artistic priority of creating aesthetically pleasing works that do not consider the individual performing during its construction. Meanwhile, psychology involves itself with the thoughts and processes of the self which do not necessarily consider if the individual is doing something artistically relevant. Now to focus on how the four disciplines can be integrated constructively rather than producing conflict, we must examine how to create common ground. RepCo defines a tool of organization with the goal of creating common ground as identifying an underlying commonality of meaning of different disciplinary concepts or assumptions and redefining them accordingly. One must then organize the redefined concepts or assumptions to bring out a relationship between them. How can these be used in our complex issue? Though this project has slightly alluded to it when discussing the discipline of art, one possible technique could be to use dance as an organizer that creates common ground between the four disciplines of psychology, sociology, art, and kinesthetics. First, let's watch a video of dance students from my dance school discuss how dance plays a role in their lives.
I'm Samhita. I love dancing because I could truly express who I really am through the moves and many different mudras / hand movements that we use in dance.
I'm Usha, and I like to dance because...
But in there you have to use lots of stamina.
Hi, my name is Neha Vala, and I like dancing because it really gives me an idea of what our tradition is like and how we narrate the stories throughout our dance, and it's like a really good activity and a fun thing to do besides school and stuff. So yeah.
I'm Avishka Bapudi, and I love to dance because it's culturally refreshing. Like going to a school with a lot of people who are the majority of the people at my school are not Indian, getting to experience the Indian culture outside of school is almost I'm lucky, and it's magnificent.
My name is Nivedita, and I like dancing because it's really fun. It's a little different from other dances. It's because it's a classical Indian dance.
Dance is a form of expression, and it kind of gives you a joy that nothing else can really give you, and it gives a sense of community, and you make a lot of good friends that last for a lifetime.
Within these few interviews, culture seemed to underlie the value these young adults attributed to dance. This value also seemed to empower them and breed confidence and passion. As we saw previously, culture pervades psychology, sociology, and art. The concept of culture in a young adult's life can be redefined to include a physical yet artistic rendition of culture. This relationship between culture and physicality can then be organized as dance. Dance, as we saw when examining art, can be extremely empowering when providing an intimate connection to culture. Specifically, Kuchipudi Indian classical dance organizes concepts central to Indian culture via body movements, as well as facial, hand, and feet gestures to convey meanings, as well as interact with other dancers. By organizing these disciplines, how can they integrate with one another via the solution we have proposed? The integration strategy of bridging the explanation-action gap is used in this situation. Bridging the explanation-action gap is defined by Miller and Boisman-Zia as a strategy for integrating disciplinary contributions that is common in applied fields, such as the professions. One or more domains may be used to define the nature of a problem or explain dimensions of a problem, while knowledge from other domains may be used to guide interventions, implementations, or solutions. This strategy involves assuming that certain disciplinary perspectives may provide explanatory leverage, while other perspectives may offer pragmatic or action-oriented leverage. Art and kinesthetics can be considered as the action behind psychology and sociology concepts of sense of self and belonging in society. Dance is the embodiment of the art and kinesthetics that is used to empower. Dance takes into consideration culture and via the art form and descriptive movements, the sense of self to create a sense of community and confidence within the dancer. This project was given a relatively short time period to examine a research question. So if given more time, I would have liked to include the discipline of education and how education relates to empowerment, as well as informing young adults of their cultures. It also would have been intriguing to see if culturally woven dance forms were present in other cultures as well, and determine if those would be adequate solutions to the complex issue outlined in this project. I also would have liked to choreograph my own dance routine and have that inserted in this presentation rather than exclusively using YouTube videos from my dance school. I do feel that I integrated the disciplines outlined in an adequate amount. Previously, I did not consider dance as an interdisciplinary tool, but now I understand the multifaceted aspects of dance and how they come together to incorporate multiple disciplines and concepts in one aesthetic art form. Thank you very much.